Hi again, this is Tom with our second part of our quick guides to MFTF. Today we'll be looking at test output and reporting, how that can be useful for us both as an output mechanism of tests to actually test the application, but also to make our own tests and make sure we can write those reliably. So, as we'll see here, I have run our admin login test, and you'll see what we get from Codeception. Apart from some module output, is the test itself, its signature, where it exists. That's the Magento acceptance default. That's where the generated PHP lives, under the generated folder. And the default is the default suite. So, scenario steps through what each action is. So we can see that we're on the page, we fill the fields, username and passwords, log in and check that we're on the correct page. Simple, and it passes. And we look at that there's one test and one assertion passed. We then run that through Allure to get some output. Let's see Allure again. So this is just outputting the results for a single pass test. As you can see, all green. Get the test, and we get the actions that it's taken. What happens when a test fails, however? So let's look at this test here. It's admin or login test, located under test, MFTF test. We'll look at the other test directory structure in a later video. For now, just know that the test lives here. It's testing these few things that we've seen in the output. Each of those relates to each of the actions in the output, and as we see in Allure. But if we want to make this fail, for example, let's go ahead and find some point at which point we can make this test fail. So what we've done is change the C in current URL. So that's asserting are we in the correct page when we log in. We change this to a different incorrect page that we know that we won't be in system account page when we log in. Now that we've changed this test should fail. So close the Allure server, and we're going to go ahead and rerun that test. So by rerunning the run test command, and that's going to kick off our test again. The remove function will remove the previously generated test and will regenerate the new test with the failing step. And that's going to cause us a failure we can investigate. So let's give it a second to run. Okay, the test has run. We can see our output has changed, and we've got a fail. So we're looking at C in current URL, admin system account. That's the wrong page. That's caused our failure. Codeceptions pass back a fail. When there is a failure like this, we get additional information. So it gives us the test step and the exact failure we've encountered. Failed asserting that that URL contains that. Then what it does is walk back the steps. So we see that it goes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, with 7 being our failing step. So we can look at our reproducibility. We do save out HTML and screenshot when a failure occurs. They're in the output folder. So we can see the underscore output folder here will have the screenshots, the HTML. But it is more convenient just to run Allure again, and we can see that we have a test report for a failure. It's all gone red. But within the test itself, the failure report here is going to look different. It gives us more information. So it shows us our trace of what failed. Shows all of our steps up to the failure. And then with the actual step that fails, it will expand if there's further steps under an action group. But for this, it's a single failure, which will show a screenshot and the HTML of the page where the failure took place. So we can see exactly what was on the page at the time. That's useful for debugging where you're having a sporadically failing test. That screenshot can show you, and the HTML can show you that something hasn't loaded or you're waiting for a spinner. That's how we'd use a very simple case of running a test, having it fail, and looking at how the output can be useful for debugging. Thank you.